Well, welcome to my world. I did it. I am live, I think. Oh dear. Anyway, welcome to my world. Come on in. I am your head coach, Colleen, Liz Frost, and this is my live 7 days journal. And today is not Wednesday, it's Thursday, but I'm going to be posting my Wednesday letter that I wrote. I write just about every day. But I've missed a couple of these because I have a little technical problem, but that's okay. I figured it out tonight, I think. And anyway, I have some equipment over here and I have yet to figure that out. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. This is Soren Kierkegaard. Wow, what a statement. Because today we have to talk about coaches in the huddle. And it is Thursday, which is Heart and Soul Day. And this is definitely going to be from my heart and my soul. You know, Soren also taught my mother, who taught me, that our life always expresses the result of our dominant thoughts. And today, the one day a week that we have to look out to see what's happening, and today with Heart and Soul, lately I've decided to look inside to ask myself what is happening. I am liking the answers. Today I'm becoming my own head coach, and this journey has taken time. And I have had many to learn from with these coaches of mine. It started with a tent master, the coaches of rare voices that to this day help me to hold the dominant thoughts in my mind to be that of which they expresses the result of these dominant thoughts, so that therefore we may as well get busy building our tent of life and carry an umbrella, because like faith, it is going to rain. So now I say to go out and enjoy life by learning how to dance in the rain. But first we need to learn how to build a tent. This is one of my favorite things from my childhood that my mother taught me. And I know that in order for us to be social, we have to learn it young. And today I'm your head coach, and I was raised on the 7 days of balance and living life on purpose. If you are traveling on this internet, I hope you rest here a while and make my 7 days journal become your traveler's rest. We are in my Studio C. It's my sanctuary. I've just added a little confession booth over here, and I think you're just going to love it. It has a 100-year-old poster from our 1907 all-original opera house, and I'm going to be sharing some of those confessional letters with you as part of my digital home. I live with my parents. My mother passed away, but my dad is still here. He's 94. And while I'm on a mission, I am also in remission. I've written a book, and it's called If You Only Had 1 Year, and it is my mission to the National Register of Historic Places while in remission. And while that's percolating at the editors, I am proceeding forward with so many fun things. I'm going to be presenting the book in a play format and hopefully taking it to kids across our area to share with them the story of how to live life on purpose 7 days a week by becoming a preservationist. So this is going to be something good, I promise. When you set out in your week to make a list, a plan to start your journey forward, it has to include some type of an awareness to what's happening around us and inside of us. When you have dreams or a purpose, a mission in your week, it is hard to know how to go about building a team. Someone needs to take the lead. For years, I was not strong enough. When that is the case, you have to choose to find a huddle that has a good leader in it. I was blessed to have a strong leader in our family, two really, my mother and my dad. Then there was a captain away from those two leaders, and that was my Grandma Thompson, who took charge. My parents had supper clubs, so we were very fortunate to have my mother's mother help raise us when my parents were working. She had a strong, loving voice for the whole neighborhood. Back then, there was really only one rule. The rule was, do not have too much fun. It just simply meant one thing. It meant no contact, no fighting, no disrespect. However, we were never left to our own devices for our day. We had strong leadership. Leadership when little included our very first task. Our very first task by our coach, our head coaches, my parents and my grandmother, was to build a tent. This was usually our first task of the early morning, setting up our very own home. 2, then 4 chairs, blankets, pillows, flashlights, snacks, small tables, games. It was like building our own community right inside the living room. And we were not even 3 years old. I have a twin brother and a sister who's 9 years older than us. And let me tell you, our homes throughout time have always been filled with some sort of tent. It was plan 1, hour 1, when you first get up, get the tent made. Tent building was the first assignment from our mother. It was, I feel, one of those secrets of parenting that just had to start early, or we would miss the opportunity to learn a clump of words we needed very young. When you are blessed with those first head coaches young in your life that teach you how to play, where to play, and how to play together, it makes the next step really easy. The day that you go to school and learn how to build a team outside of your own living room. That's the time that you ask for play dates or to start building a tent with others. One way for me to stretch my early days of being a leader was in 3rd grade. It was my first attempt at being my circus tent master all by myself. I was put on the neighborhood carnival detail, and this was an all-out summer project at Grandma Thompson's front yard. We had to gather boxes, big boxes, refrigerator boxes, and haul them back to Grandma T's. She was strategically placed at the corner of Main Street, the perfect high traffic count to put on our very first circus. I then had to acquire that main feature piece, and I was very good at this. Because I remember when I was at the fair, I saw a dunking tank. I tracked it down through the supper club resources that I had when I had to go with my parents to their job. You know what they call that to things? Oh dear, I'm still the same. So anyway, the featured piece I had was this dunking tank. I then had to pick a candidate who people would love to dunk. That was easy. I picked adults, mostly adults that could bring in more adults. They were the ones who had the big money, and I'm talking big money. We're talking quarters, people, not the pennies, not the nickels, and not the dimes. We were going for quarters. All the other games that we planned were a penny. Go fish, ring toss, fortune telling, magic tricks. Cuddles and Ringo were the animals, and we had our very own petting zoo lined up. We had lemonade and homemade cookies, all for a penny. But the dunk tank, that was a quarter for 3 balls. And it was a hit. I had my whistle and I went from station to station to check on all the kids. We were on a mission for muscular dystrophy. Back then, if you turned it in, you got to go out of town, all the way to Fargo. Of course, I thought I was going to New York. We hadn't left town much. But we needed to raise the minimum of $50 in order to get to the radio station. And this was an all-out effort because I knew there was a big world out there and I wanted to go see it. 3rd grade. After all day, we raised $135. And my team and I went to Fargo and we got on the radio station to tell our story of building a team and raising the money. Our head coaches, my mother and Grandma Thompson, gave me the tools to make that happen. The tools were given to me at 3 when they made us be a part of that huddle and taught us how to build our first tent. They were our leaders who taught us young how to take the lead. What's happening in heart and soul starts with the tent. Playing young, deciding who, what, where, when, why, how, and right now. What do you want in your tent? Is a great way to start looking outside your tent and inside your tent to make things happen and to look for opportunities to go outside and build that team. Mother told us young that if we are the smartest person in our tent, then we are in the wrong tent. We need to keep inviting stronger people in our tents. Go out there and find something or someone interesting to bring in your tent and start learning something new. If you're bored, I don't even want to hear it. Those voices continue to expand our thinking and challenge us. Yesterday, when I met with my Pete, he's my trainer, my strength coach, who not only helped me, but he was very instrumental with my son. And I'll never, ever stop singing his praises. But he's one of the many, many coaches that I have in my life that push me mentally to think harder and to grow my possibilities. I stopped in to pick up one of my surprises from a local artist here in town. Her name is Bridget, and she owns Mainframes. She's a framing artist. But she's an artist. She has many different arts. And she has an art gallery in our town. And I think it's like going to an art gallery in New York. I just love it in there. We're so lucky here in Perm to have her. Well, I went to see her. She's like my art coach. She has a wisdom and a vision for her art that comes from surrounding herself with talent daily. And she inspires me. I have had many coaches. And Wednesday's What's Happening is a great time to explore these past, present, and future leaders and to see how they can inspire me and you today. Who are your coaches? Soren Kierkegaard says, our life always expresses the result of our dominant thoughts. Who are in your thoughts to keep you building your own tents? Rare people, places, and voices. That's what I'm working on so hard to bring to you. Becoming a preservation is my life's purpose and passion, and living history on purpose. I am a coach, a head coach, and I'm building a digital home, how to live on purpose 7 days a week. This is my 7 days journal, and I hope it inspires you to celebrate your history and create more. On behalf of my family, thank you all for sharing your history and all your what's happenings and heart and soul with me on my wall. It has been endless hours of entertainment. And I have rare people, and I have people that are real people like you. And I just want to thank you for being here with me. If you'd like to subscribe, I have some interesting things coming up with the Facebook Live and some, I guess they call them vlogs I'm making in the closet and to add to my podcast. And I just cannot wait to share it with you. So I stay tuned. I'll get to as many of these as I can. I'm doctoring with my dad right now, so it's a little bit more busy with him. But every day I try to put a whistle in my step and march with these plans I've made for my 7 days. And I thank you all for being a part of my travel journal. So find your rocks and grab a ball and build a team and look for a feather. Hope is all around. So jump, bounce, and fly with me 7 days on purpose. I teach it, preach it, and repeat it with a balance. Like, share, and remember that Thursdays and Wednesdays are made for those who dare. Be avant-garde, be rare, and remember me sincerely, Coach Colleen, number 33.